Backlash 2025 predictions. I'm Will. That's Brandon. We're the Cousins of Destruction Wrestling podcast. As always, let's cheers. Talk about some wrestling. Ha.
Yeah, we did our Backlash match card predictions, and we thought to ourselves, man, this could be a really, really good PLE outside of Mania. And now you fast forward a week or so. Well, I don't know where all the matches are at, but we're going to go through them.
Yeah, we didn't call a lot of them. Our card was pretty stacked and amazing, and we were really looking forward to that. But you know what? We're getting a decent card here, and it's happening in St. Louis, so we'll be going to it, so that'll be fun. And before we get into predictions, make sure to like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff for more wrestling content. Let's get into it. We only got 4 matches on the card right now. This is, we're doing this Sunday, so we just used the WWE.com to see what their official match card was looking like, and there was 4 of them. But on Monday Night Raw last week, we're going to start with this one because it might get thrown in. Jey Uso and Logan Paul kind of started getting after it, and Jey Uso even alluded to, like, if he basically did the John Cena, if you want some, come get some to Logan Paul. Called him a dumb YouTuber, which is kind of funny. So maybe this match gets added to Backlash is basically what we're going to say here. And if we do get a Jey Uso versus Logan Paul, who do we got winning?
Yeah, you kind of look at the matches that are there, and then the couple what if matches that you get into, and you're like, oh no, is this going to be just a standard jacked up house show sort of thing? Yeah, this one's going to be Jey Uso. This one kind of has to be Jey Uso. Although I will say the amount of backlash and publicity that would happen if Logan Paul would win. Talk about people that don't like the heel. That's one heel that would really cause some divide there. Got to be Jey Uso. The Yeet Mania was amazing. It was awesome. You haven't really got a lot after that. Talking about the one-off feud, figure that would probably happen, assuming they're not going to push that to Money in the Bank because that's even farther down the road. And I mean, who knows what all Logan Paul can even show up to realistically. So give me Jey Uso here. Pretty easy pick.
Yeah, I mean, the wrestling community would be in an absolute uproar if they somehow stole Yeet Mania from us within a month and just gave it to the Logan Paul guy, celebrity guy that's come in and, been very controversial ever since. I do think that down the line, we are going to have a Logan Paul title reign in some way, shape, or form. I don't know if it's going to be this year, next year, or whatever, but I think that he just has so many fans that WWE is eventually going to throw it at him. But that's in our deepest, darkest nightmares that I put in the back of my head, and hopefully it never comes to fruition. But I mean, if they do put this on Backlash, it's got to be 100% Jey Uso, no doubt. We're also going to move on though. Tiffany and them have been also feuding. Tiffany's been feuding with Nia and Jade and Naomi. They've all been kind of wrapped in a group with each other. No official match for that one yet. We have a number 1 contender match on Friday between Nia and Jade, right? Mm-hmm. So we might get a one-on-one match there, but we also had that happen with Drew McIntyre for the U.S. title, and that led to a fatal 4-way. So if this does happen, if it does turn out being a Tiffany versus Jade, Naomi, Nia, who do you have winning that?
Yeah, you look at it, the U.S. title, which we'll get to in a little bit, and this one, Nick Aldis is like, I don't really know what to do, so you all just kind of go at it. There's really no... Nick Aldis needs to do a better job, I guess, is what I'm saying here. I originally would have guessed maybe a tag match for this one, but we got that on SmackDown. So obviously you're not just going to run it back. Do predict some malarkey, some baloney and shenanigans. You got to get it in once an episode. In the number 1 contender match that leads to the fatal 4-way with Tiffany ultimately pinning Nia Jax. You still have a lot of unresolved Jade and Naomi stuff. So it wouldn't make sense to put the title on either one of them as of yet. Also, Nia just kind of popping up out of nowhere and just dethroning Tiffany, defeating Tiffany, taking that title off. You're like, oh, okay. I mean, I guess, whatever. Really enjoying the stuff Nia's doing. Really enjoying the Jade and Naomi stuff. But Tiffany needs to really kind of solidify the last unchecked box. Really get that last check mark there and really kind of solidify herself. She did that with Charlotte Flair. I don't see her losing any momentum here. Crowd still loves her. Still fantastic stuff. So give me Tiffany on this one.
If I was a betting man, I'd bet that either Naomi or Jade one day takes the belt from Tiffany Stratton down the line in one way, shape, or form. But the thing is, not yet. There's still a bunch of unfinished business just between those two. And Bianca is on SmackDown. We still haven't really reinserted her into it, even though Naomi and Jade and even Bianca has talked about each other within it. So we're going to get that arc of this story at some point. And I don't think they're going to have the title on it during that arc, but the winner of that might go on to face Tiffany down the line is basically what I'm saying. And so Tiffany to me has to be the winner here if there is a match. I do think that she'll be pinning Nia, but you don't have her beat Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania and then lose her first feud either. It's kind of the same thing with Jey here for me. So if they do end up doing a Tiffy match, Tiffy gonna win it. It's still gonna be Tiffy time.
Yeah, I would assume. I mean, I don't know. The Jade posing with the title, right? They don't do that for no reason.
Yeah.
It looked really good, to be honest. I was like, oh, okay. I like that. And then Naomi holding it up as well. That also looked good.
Yep.
There's rumors about Naomi possibly winning Money in the Bank. So you got a little bit of time here.
Yep.
Something's going to happen. Something's going to explode here. And I'm all here for it.
100%.
It's not yet.
But let's get into the actual scheduled matches, the 4 that we do have. Please be more. Please be more. That's like a match per hour we're driving there. Crazy.
That's wild.
We'll start with the big one. Pat McAfee versus Gunther taking place at Backlash. I guess Pat McAfee's trying to get revenge on what Gunther did to the commentary booth, I guess. Who do you got winning this one?
Yeah, fired up promo by Pat McAfee. Yeah. We were there for it, so didn't get to really hear it at home. Went back and rewatched it, and you're like, yeah, I really like this. I really like this Pat McAfee, fired up Pat McAfee. All this just to really get choked out again. I think it's going to lead to something bigger. I don't really see this being like a one-off. It might lead to as you've said, like a Wade Barrett thing. Maybe Wade Barrett comes in and fills in sort of thing. A little bit weird to have Gunther take this route, I guess. Yeah. He loses the title and he has so much prestige and such a dominant run with the IC title and then the world title. And you look at it and you're like, well, now he's just feuding with commentators. Okay, I guess that's what we're doing. So would like something a little bit better for him. I don't know how long we're going to end up getting this, but I mean, you can't have Pat McAfee beat Gunther. There might be a bunch of shenanigans. There might be a bunch of stuff that happens in this match as well, but you can't have that happen. There's just no possible way. I don't care how much you dislike Gunther. Gunther is a dominant heel in the company. You can't have him lose to Pat.
Yeah, I think that this honestly needs to be a squash match. Maybe you come out and Pat gets all of his like fun little spots to begin with the match. He'll do the backwards flip off the top rope, land it. But I'm talking like 2-3 minutes of Pat McAfee. Woo, wow, look at that. And then Gunther just destroys him. Like at the end of the day, this is a guy who you have established as one of the top heels in the company over the past few years. He is like that guy. He was just a world champion of your company, right? And Pat McAfee's been a commentator who's fought on NXT a couple times and then had a fun little match at Mania one time. Like, I love Pat McAfee. I'm not hating on it, but this is freaking Gunther. This is another level of WWE talent superstar and should be treated as so. Gunther should destroy this man. There shouldn't even be any ounce of like, oh, Pat might get the pin here. Gunther should kill this man, all right? He should kill him. Gunther wins.
Yeah, for those who haven't seen it, Pat McAfee versus Adam Cole down in NXT.
Baby.
Really good stuff.
Yeah.
Really fun stuff. Pat can go in the ring. That's awesome. That's great. But there's levels to it. I expect, like you said, maybe a flurry. Maybe Pat gets some punches off. Maybe Gunther hides in the corner a little bit, recollects himself, and then just ultimately power bombs him, chokes him out. I don't even know if you'll get a tap from Pat. I think you might just have him pass out again.
Man, that would be the hero face way out of it, though. Not even tapping.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, you're probably setting yourself up there good. We'll move it on, though. Women's Intercontinental Championship match. We have Lyra Valkyria taking on the newly healed Becky Lynch. Who do you got winning this one?
Yeah, I would say just kind of looking at the card all together, like this is maybe the one that I'm kind of like the most 50-50, I would say. I'm still going to go with Becky Lynch on this one. I think the heel turn obviously happens for a big reason. I think it's bigger than what they've shown on screen here. I do like the kind of underdog fiery promo that Lyra cut on Raw. I think maybe we get some more of that here once she loses the title and she's that underdog challenger. I really like that aspect. Still expecting Becky Lynch to join Heyman and Rollins and Braun some way, somehow. Maybe she's that first person that has gold in the faction sort of thing. Becky being by herself, just holding gold and being heel while her husband's on the same show being heel. You're like, well, why wouldn't you just go together? So I'm going Becky Lynch on this one. I think this one's probably going to be, well, besides the Fatal 4-Way, I think this is going to be the longest singles match that we get. I think it's going to be a great singles match. Lyra's going to continue to show how great she is in the ring. Becky is going to kind of remind some people maybe that have maybe forgotten how good Becky is in the ring. But give me Becky Lynch on this one. Wouldn't be surprised if it's Lyra, though. Wouldn't be upset either.
I'm a huge Lyra fan, but I think that Lyra needs to lose this one. I think that that's kind of like this is how we do it with faces. You give them a challenge, you give them a hill to climb, right? Like Lyra's had a great year of being like an established in-ring talent on Raw, and everybody knows that she's like one of the best in-ring competitors when it comes to just like her match quality is always through the roof. But then you back up a little bit and everybody always has the same sort of critique of like, yeah, but like, what is she? Is she just Bird Girl? Like, do we just woo for her? And Raw proved that this is the right feud, right? She comes out, cuts an absolutely fiery promo, gets the crowd on her side, but like, you need the downfall first. And then we need to see you reclaim it through good character work and weekly television and Becky being the heel that just stole your title and keeping you down, all the cliches in wrestling. So it's an opportunity for Lyra to fully round out her character with her in-ring talent and become the star that she is. And hopefully that happens down the line, but at Backlash, I think Becky's got to take it from her. It has to happen.
Yeah, if you have Lyra just end up winning this match, I feel like you're like, oh, okay. So the heel turn, like he turns heel on her and it doesn't matter. She still beats her. It kind of just fizzles out at that point. I assume this is going to be like a long-standing feud. I assume maybe it goes to a SummerSlam, potentially is probably where I would go with it. Maybe you get a stipulation match in there some way, somehow. But this will be nice to have a real challenger for Lyra. She hasn't really had anything. Be like her first real-time feud.
Yeah.
And nobody better than Becky for this. I mean, we were there. Becky, she gets cheered even though she's the heel. But then you started to see towards the end of it, you started to see people boo Becky. So that's going to be maybe their toughest hurdle to climb, toughest hill to climb is how to get the people to boo Becky. So maybe you get some just sinister stuff from Becky here.
Any Bayley involvement? Are we going to see any Bayley return? We're going to see any Bayley helping somebody or a double turn where she sides with Becky and
B&B, huh?
B&B, baby. That sounds sick.
I'm gonna say no on this one. I'm gonna say it's maybe a little bit too early.
Yeah.
I understand the people that want her back. I want her back, but she just got attacked and seems like maybe she'll take some time off. The longer the absence is, I feel like the better it's going to be when she does return. If she does just kind of show up here, I'll be like, oh, okay. Like that's fine. I really want the focus to be on Becky and Lyra here. If Bayley returns here so soon, I feel like that kind of takes away from the other two.
Yeah, I would like for Bayley to return. I don't know, maybe be sort of a mini version of like how Cody won the title over Roman. She could show up in that moment when after Becky's kept her down for months and then maybe helps her, gives Lyra the last little boost to help her over it. But no, I don't see any Bayley here. So moving on though. Samoan Werewolf, U.S. champion Jacob Fatu taking on three other people at Backlash: Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest, and L.A. Knight. Who do you got winning it?
Oh, I was waiting for the yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. This one, I kind of go back and forth on. I think there's a 50-50 shot. And by my Steiner math, you might be like, well, there's a 25% chance because it's a fatal four-way. So 50-50 doesn't make any sense. I think it's one of two people wins this match. I think it's Drew McIntyre or I think it's Jacob Fatu. I don't really see Priest winning it. I don't really see LA Knight winning it. I'm going to go ahead, though. I'm going to give it to Jacob. I have kind of bounced back and forth. Originally, I had predicted Drew. You even wrote down Drew. Look at that. I'm going Fatu on this one. I think the solo storyline is interesting. I'm really involved in that, and I really want to see where that kind of goes. I don't think it's time yet for him to completely screw him over. Really thinking about it, it's like, okay, we have got the seeds planted a little bit, but the way WWE does things, they draw it out and they draw it out and they draw it out. So you might have a solo spot here where he does try to help Jacob and ends up hurting Jacob, but Jacob barely retains, something along those lines. Or you might just have something where there's like the incidental contact and puts him down, something like that. But slowly but surely, I think we're going to get that Solo versus Fatu feud. I think for a while I was on the side of doesn't really need a title because it's so good. But now I'm fully bought in about like, just give that to me for the title. I'm okay with that.
When you said Drew, I was hoping you're about to say Drew because I'm switching up and I'm going Fatu. I thought for a while there, I thought multi-man match Solo is going to be clouding it. This is probably a good time to get it to drop, but there hasn't been enough Solo Fatu stuff yet in drama for me to say that they're going to do this and pull the trigger this early at Backlash. I see it coming down the line. I think we all see it coming down the line in one way, shape, or form. We're going to get the I Hate You Solo eventually. It's going to be awesome, but Backlash is too soon. We may get another chapter in that story arc. There may come a time where Solo looks like he may accidentally, or he may do something and looks like Jacob Fatu may lose because of it, but he ends up pulling it out. So I assume that some story is going to progress that way throughout the match, but I just think it's too early. It's too early. He just got the belt. There hasn't been enough solo Fatu stuff yet. Jacob Fatu, man.
Yeah, realistically, you look at it, and I mean, you think about it. Do I want LA Knight to get it back after he just lost it? Well, no, not really.
Yeah.
The Damian Priest, that doesn't really move the needle for me. Even Drew doesn't necessarily move the needle for me. Like, it would be awesome. I think Drew does deserve some gold, but where would he go after this would kind of be the big thing. So it's kind of just Fatu versus Solo. And maybe it's something to where Solo makes it up to Fatu, and he's the reason why he does win. Aldis talks about how, well, you screwed Jacob. Maybe he tries to make it up to him. Maybe he does make it up to him, and he is like, hey, look, we are on the same page. Maybe that kind of delays it a little bit longer.
Yeah, that's it. It just feels like at this point, just looking at the schedule, it's like that feels like SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm.
Like the solo Fatu stuff feels like SummerSlam. It doesn't feel like Backlash yet. Would really have liked to see it though, because I can't wait for that feud. It seems like something that we've been saying for saying that's going to come for months and months and months, and now we're sort of getting a little nuggets here and there for it. But it's like, I want it. Final match. The reason that we're driving up there.
Pretty much, yeah.
This is the last time we're going to see the last real champion. John Cena taking on Randy Orton one last time in St. Louis for the WWE Undisputed title. Who do you have winning it?
Yeah, I think as I kind of talk about this a little bit, it breaks down into two things. Who do I want to win it? And who's going to win it? I want Randy Orton to win it in his hometown. I think that would be really cool. I think him putting it into the last real champion stuff, I guess, would be really, really awesome. And we'll be there. So I'm going to cheer that. But it's going to be John Cena. I think you get some involvement here with Randy's family. They've touched on that a lot to where, like, I feel like there almost has to be an appearance of some way, somehow, of a Cowboy Bob or maybe Randy's kids or wife or something, right? They've talked about the history and the family so much, so long. I see people talking about Cena doing the reverse where he slaps the referee and causes for a DQ. That would suck. I mean, for us going there, I'm like, man, it would ruin wrestling just how he says it would. But if I'm there, I'm going to be like, God damn it, they did it again. Like the Travis Scott stuff and now this, like it just keeps getting worse every time. So I'm going John Cena. I really am on the train now that you mentioned it. Have him kind of hold it for so long. And the longer he holds it and the more doubt creeps into everybody's head about like, maybe he is going to retire as champ. Maybe he is going to take that. And then you have somebody take it off of him. That just sounds really cool.
It's John Cena. John Cena's going to win the damn match. I mean, when he announced his farewell tour, everybody started like theorizing who was going to be his final opponent. And Randy Orton's name came up a lot. And so you do have a lot of people right now going, well, why wouldn't Randy win this match? Because then he gets closer to the record as well. And then Cena, Cena's goal is to carry the title away from wrestling, right? He wants to end the timeline. So then Randy Orton and John Cena could keep going and Cena could have to get it back again. And that could be a storyline. Yeah, I don't see it happening. I see John Cena winning all these championship matches for months and months and months, probably in terrible fashion. They're probably all going to be bad matches, and he's going to be ruining wrestling throughout it. And you know what? People are going to complain, and that's going to be part of the storyline, and we're going to complain. But Randy Orton's just going to be the first big match in a line of hopefully great big matches to come for John Cena in this championship title farewell tour that he's got going on. And Randy's going to lose in his hometown. Last real champion, baby. Cena.
Yeah, I think maybe this is like a PSA or like just a note to everybody. Like, I think everybody needs to prepare for that. I think everybody needs to be ready for the matches to not be good.
Yep.
I think everybody needs to prepare for, hey, the endings are going to leave bad taste in your mouth. Hey, people are going to stop potentially watching wrestling, right? They're going to threaten it. Like, if this keeps happening, I'm done watching. I think people need to prepare for that because if you did that at WrestleMania and you did that on night 2 in the main event and you were like, hey, we're going to leave this taste in people's mouths, they're going to stop at nothing to really keep ruining wrestling. So I think people really need to kind of prepare themselves for that and mentally get in that state of mind of like, okay, we thought it couldn't get any worse. Like, oh, it's going to get worse. It's going to be worse.
They've done this thing where they've blanketed the problem with this story purpose of like, well, no, he wants to ruin wrestling, right? He came out and said he wants to ruin wrestling. So it feels like whenever John Cena comes out and is going to have a bad match or something, it's going to feel like, well, no, the whole reason is because he wants to ruin wrestling. That's why. And that's a good cover. I'll give it to him. It's like, okay. But at the same time, it is obvious, at least in the match with Cody, and just kind of seeing Cena throughout so far during his farewell tour, it's like he obviously doesn't have the in-ring ability anymore. Like, he's not going to be putting on 5-star classics, 4-star classics with anybody here. So yeah, I'm with you. Like, people need to get prepared however they can to just be ready for crappy finishes to PLEs whenever Cena's involved. He's going to be winning all these matches, and it's probably going to be more Travis Scott crap, and it's probably going to be cheating here and there, and it's not going to be amazing matches. So it's going to be just a long, drawn out, I'm going to ruin wrestling for you storyline. And hopefully you just love Cena enough to where you can power through it. I'm in that train. But for a lot of people, that's not how it is. So it's going to be one of those things where the rest of wrestling might be a bad year in terms of like how PLEs finish from here on out.
Yeah, I think it's really tough because you have Cena wanting to ruin wrestling, but then there's a fine line between like bad writing and ruining wrestling, right? And I think it is hard because they do kind of blur the lines a little bit, and they've kind of woven it back and forth. I mean, so it's going to be tough for a little bit, but I think as long as you're prepared for it, and I think as long as you know that it's coming, you can appreciate it, but also still be like, damn you, John. And that's what you want, I think.
You get nothing. Yeah. You get nothing. Cena's a GOAT.
I don't want anything.
You don't want anything?
Nothing.
Well, we're going to have a 4-hour drive to get there. So you better be, you better be
4
ready.
hours back.
You better be ready to get nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, those were our predictions for 2025 Backlash. It's a short card right now. Hopefully they add a couple of those matches that we threw in there just in case.
Maybe War Raiders and New Day.
Oh, Jesus. Anyway, let us know in the comments what you guys think, who you guys think is going to win these matches, what other matches you'd like to see happen, because we do have a week up into it. Make sure to come check out our live streams. We will be live for Raw and SmackDown this week, and most of the time PLEs as well on youtube.com/@CODWrestlePod. And for everything else, it's @CODWrestlePod, COD WrestlePod on everything. We have a link tree in our bio. It's got all of our socials, everything there. So please go like, subscribe, share all that good wrestling content because we think you guys would love it. I'm Will. That's Brandon. We are the Cousins of Destruction Wrestling Podcast, and we will see you next time.